Okay. We should be good to go. Type a 1 in the chat if you can hear us. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a few minutes because I know quite a few ladies in our community said they were gonna be on today. So hey, Malaya. Thanks for joining. Okay, and she gave us the one in the chat. So that's beautiful. Okay, so she can hear us. So, all right, it's 12:01. I like to be punctual and respectful of folks' time. So, we're gonna just jump in. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. We're hopping on today to discuss our agenda was to discuss Wealthy and Worthy, an in-person mastermind that my company Legacy League is going to be hosting this fall in Atlanta. So October 24th through the 26th. And we are wanting to come on more often, just to chat with you all and answer some of the questions that you may have, and to really give you a taste of what there's going to be offered in this in-person experience. So, for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm so glad that you found the Legacy League. And for those who have been rocking with us for a while, drop me a line and just let me know that you're here. So today we are joined by the lovely Stephanie Alston, and she is going to be our legacy host for the Wealthy and Worthy event coming up in a few months. So I am going to pass it off to her, and she will be guiding our discussion today. All right. So, in the interest of time, we're going to jump on in. And if you're watching this back on the replay, drop us some love and let us know that you caught it and that you're excited about coming to be with us in October. All right, Stephanie, I'm passing it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Tiana, and thank you everyone for joining us. We're so excited about seeing you all in Atlanta. It is going to be a life-changing experience that you will not forget. But today it's all about the urgency of now. Tickets are on sale, and maybe you're thinking about buying your ticket for this conference and you haven't made a final decision yet. Today, we hope to leave you with something that will make you know that you need to be in the room with us in Atlanta in October. But I first want to begin with you, Tiana. There's so much is going on right in the world. So much going on. We have over 300,000 Black women who have left the workforce, whether it is because they've been laid off, whether it's because they're burned out. The economy, the labor market, everything feels like it's in shambles. But you also got some unexpected news as well in your own life. And so I'm just curious, would you be willing to share why now? Why do we need to have this event now? What's your vision for it, and what gaps have you seen in the market that made you know that this is what you needed to do?
I said I trust you with these questions. And I'm going to share with y'all as much as I can. Okay. So why now? It's a loaded question. It's a loaded question. And if I'm being honest, a part of me has asked why now as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this strong conviction that when it gets hard and when you are facing the resistance and it feels like it's just unrelenting, our default as human beings is generally to back off, right? Because we feel like maybe this is not the path that I should be going down, right? But what I have learned is that those are the moments where you actually have to push through. And pushing through that resistance is what allows you to have that quantum leap in your life. And so for me, um, the time is now because life is going to always life.
Right.
And 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 I've actually tried to push this event off for probably longer than I should.
Wow.
When the Lord gave me wealthy and worthy, I had every excuse. I was like, I'm too busy. I have a lot going on. I'm running a company. I'm wifing. I'm momming. I'm meing, right? And I was like, I don't really have, not right now. And I kept pushing it off. And the month that I said, yes, I'm going to just do this. I'm going to bring my community together. I'm going to break out of the solo one-to-one coaching that I tend to be more comfortable with, and really open up the services and the support that I offer to the masses. All hell broke loose. I
Mm.
mean, I mean everywhere. And again, as you said, everybody is experiencing this pressure that's happening. And so I just felt like, as people of the kingdom, there's no greater time
Mhm.
than to stand up when we are faced with adversity, when we are pressed on every side, right? And I told the Lord yes, that I would do it. and and I am committed to seeing it through. And despite how I feel, and despite what I'm seeing and even experiencing, right? And so that's why it's now, because it is an act of honestly pure surrender and obedience, to what he's called me to. And I can't let pain change my posture.
Wow.
And so here we are. We
Well,
are still talking about it. We are still pushing out the vision, because I feel more conviction about it now more than ever.
right. Yeah. And I hope someone in the chat caught that. And whenever you said we don't let pain change our posture, because I think that is something that we all as women have to be reminded of, especially during times like this, right? Because to your point, oftentimes when things get rough, our default is to stop. But as you were speaking, I'm reminded of a battle, right? You don't
Mhm.
put your weapons up the moment a battle shows up. That's when you start to fight harder. And so we should see that this moment demands us to show up now. We can't take a step back because that's what the world wants us to do, right? I mean, there are even narratives out there to say, oh, well, this isn't our fight anymore. We're going to let them have it because we didn't sign up for this. And while we didn't sign up for this, that's not what you do in battle. You don't sit back and watch an attack happen to you without showing up to fight. We as Black women, we have been equipped with everything that we need inside of us to be able to fight the battle. And so if you're contemplating if you should show up for this battle in the world that's happening right now, let this be your sign. Yes, you need to show up. You need to be with us in Atlanta, because we are going to give you all the tools that you need or that you're missing, because you have everything you need inside of you, right? But anything that you're missing is going to be found in Atlanta, but you got to get there to meet us for this event. So Tiana, tell me what is going to be different about this event than all other events that are happening with similar audiences, right? We're in Atlanta, and so we know conferences are happening all the time. What
Yeah.
makes you feel out like Wealthy and Worthy is going to be different from all those other conferences?
Listen, listen, I'm gonna just tell you, because number one, because it's me. Okay. I just I just believe, okay? And I believe this with everything in me, right? Like, I'm not for everybody, right? And my brand is not for everybody, but everybody has a brand that's for them, right? And so for me, my goal is to attract my people, right? Like the people who believe that wealth is more than just money, right? The people who believe that worthiness is beyond the labor that we are enduring and putting ourselves through, right? So I believe that it's different and it sets itself apart because it's not meant for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it meant
Yeah.
for the masses, right? Um, and I am just so thrilled because the ladies who have already started signing up, um, when my team sends me the list of the enrollees, and I'm like just so excited because I'm like, yes, they see themselves in what we're doing, and so I'm just so thrilled to meet them and to meet all of you who have already purchased your tickets.
I love that. So what I'm hearing you say is you only want the women who are meant to be in the room to be in the room with us.
Yes, and I know that um just Legacy League in general, it attracts go-getters, right? So it's like we're still um as ambitious, if not more ambitious, right? Than we used to be when we were working 50, 60 hours a week, right? But we are recognizing that we can still be powerful without being over capacity.
Mm,
And so that's what I'm most excited about because I'm like, yeah, the ones that are coming, the ones that are showing up, the ones that are betting on themselves, always bet on the house. And
right.
so when I see those tickets rolling in, I'm like, okay, yes, this is gonna be good. So I'm excited. I'm excited.
So if I am watching this and I've never heard of Legacy League before, tell me, how do I know that I'm a Legacy League woman?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so it's really simple, right? You know that you're a league woman if you are ready to work less and earn more.
Oh, okay.
You believe that it's available to you, right?
Right.
Because that is how we are going to build legacies of wholeness and of wellness, right? And we can do well in the world while still being well. And
Right.
so that is, yes, if you have come to that um reality for yourself, this is the place for you. If you are even curious about that reality and what that could look like, this is for you, right? Like
Right.
we welcome those who are curious, but those who are willing to take action. So yeah, if that's you and you're ready, like and you're open, let's do it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so you mentioned belief, right?
Yeah.
So you assume there was a turning point in your own life where you suddenly believed even greater for yourself. What was that turning point for you personally?
Ooh. Um, wow. Oh, that's a great question. I would say, I actually shared this on LinkedIn not too long ago. I would say when I was completing my doctorate and I was in a pretty bad car accident. I was rear-ended. I was stopped and I was rear-ended by somebody going like 55 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
And and I had some quite a bit of injury, and then I had a memory loss actually.
Oh,
And
wow.
so yeah, and so this was a while ago, and so I was contemplating quitting and not finishing my degree because I had so much fear and anxiety about going back and not being able to remember all of the
Mhm.
things I had spent years working on. And it was just so consuming. The fear and the anxiety about that was so consuming that I was like, I just think I'm gonna like just bow out. I'm just gonna bow out. And I used my supports, I used my village, I was honest about how I felt. And my then boyfriend, who is now my husband, he was like, if we're gonna be together, like you have to finish this. Um, and so it was like, oh wow, having people in my life that believed with me and for me, even when I struggled to believe in myself. And so that is when I said, if they have that much confidence in me, right? Like, well, what am I? Where has my confidence been, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's those moments that if we're paying attention, that sometimes help us come to the reality that we don't always love ourselves as much as we believe we do.
Mm, wow. How important do you think our circle is to our personal success, with that being said? Because you said you wanted to quit, right? What if I have people around me who don't believe in me, right? Could that be detrimental to my success? Do I need people?
I mean, listen, this is why we're doing Wealthy and Worthy, and it's in person. And there is no virtual option. So you all can stop emailing our team about virtual option. We're not doing a virtual option. It is deliberately in person because we are not meant to do this alone,
Mm,
right? We're just not. And even though we can, and many of us have, right? We didn't get to where we are by ourselves unscathed,
mm,
right? And so it is the community that is the secret sauce that binds our commitments to our outcomes, right? To our results.
yeah.
And so if we don't have people in our lives that can speak truth to us, that can hold us accountable to who we say we want to be,
Yeah.
right? If we don't have those people, we are doomed. We are doomed. And particularly as I think about it in the context of women, right? Too many of us have lived our lives believing that we don't need girlfriends or we don't need community, and we do. You will drown in the wilderness, right? Like you will die in the wilderness if you don't get connected to people who are like minded and like hearted. And whether that's Legacy League or some other community, it's important that each of us find where that is. And if you are interested, curious, of course, we would love to welcome you into Legacy League. But again, there is specific communities for specific people, and so I think that um, it's wise to do your due diligence to figure out what community you want to be a part of.
No, I agree with you. And you mentioned not doing life alone, but I imagine you, like many other women, at some point in your life, maybe you did try to do life alone. My question for you is, what's a lesson that maybe you learned early, or that you wish you had learned earlier in life, especially as it related to trying to do it on your own? What's a lesson that you learned?
Mm, a lesson that I wish I had learned earlier in life.
Yeah. I can
Hmm.
go. I can answer for me first, and I,
Please,
yeah,
please do.
yeah,
I would love to hear your perspective.
and it's exactly what you said, that I don't have to do it alone. I mean, I'm a woman who, I don't ever want to feel like a burden, right? I always want to make sure I'm the one who's showing up for other people, but I don't want to burden other people with whatever I'm going through. But what I realized is that there were people around me that God put to help me carry the burden so it wouldn't be so heavy. And once I learned that lesson, I do believe I got my freedom in a lot of ways. Like, I didn't walk around as heavy, as burdened, as worried, and trying to figure out how I'm going to make things happen, because I realized that's not my responsibility, right? God put us all on this earth together for a reason. And to your point earlier, everybody is not going to be your person. Everyone is not going to be your group of people. However, once God shows you who those people are in your life, don't be afraid to lean on them. But of course, ultimately lean on Him. But you don't have to do it alone. So that's exactly what I wish I would have learned much earlier. I probably could have saved myself a lot of stress, a lot of mistakes. Um, but you know, live and you learn.
Yeah, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I would say my lesson would be that the rhythm of the universe is reciprocity,
Mm,
and it's also a kingdom principle.
I agree.
And so it applies whether you believe or you don't. You can still apply the concept and it still works, right? Um, and I say that because I think for many of us women, we are often conditioned to be shrinking women when it comes to compensating for the needs of others. And we are often taught that sacrifice is the cost of love and being in relationship. And when we give sacrificially of ourselves and we don't expect anything in return, we stall what's meant for us
Mm,
because it has to naturally be able to go through its natural rhythm, right? And so, um, now that I've learned that, with time and experience, I would say that is definitely a lesson that I wish I had had, in my early 20s, um, to help me have proper boundaries around the value that I bring.
yeah. So you talked about sacrifice, and I know that attending these events or even starting a business, right? It all comes with a level of sacrifice. Tell me how Wealth and Worthy has been a sacrifice to you on your own journey.
Oh, I was not ready for this one. Um, um, it, it's all a sacrifice, right? Like I mean, I said in the beginning, like, would I rather not? Yeah, like, I would have rather not paid for all the venue, all the things, right? And even outside of paying, it takes a lot of logistics to facilitate an in-person event, and particularly for me, because it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be excellent, right? It's always gonna be in the spirit of excellence, and that requires effort, period. And so for me, yeah, it's a sacrifice, but my husband often reminds me, he's like, service is not always convenient.
Mm, wow.
And when you say, you want to serve people, which is what you do, with your business, we are serving people. Um, it's you just have to come to that acceptance that it's not always convenient. And so you do what you're called to do and you do it to the best of your ability. And that's what we're doing.
I love it. I hope everyone is taking notes because I'm sitting here taking notes because she is dropping so many gems. I love talking to Dr. Tiana because it is always sure to be a conversation where I'm walking away like, yeah, I love that. I'm using that again. So you're talking about, how service is really important to you. So can you tell the ladies out there what type of service can they expect when they walk into the room in Atlanta in October?
Come on. Well, listen, those of y'all that have worked with me for a while, you already know the type of service that we deliver. Okay, it's top tier, it's premium. We just really, I just don't take it for granted. The clients that I have that I've worked with over the years, I don't take it for granted that they choose for me to be their strategist and their ally. As they reinvent their lives and pivot their careers. And so I'm always very mindful of being able to demonstrate that in action. And so when you come to Wealthy and Worthy, listen, it is going to be beautifully curated. It's going to be catered. And if you're VIP, you'll be able to have a swanky brunch with us and a VIP mixer with us. So we're rolling out the red carpet for y'all, and it's gonna be beautiful.
I'm excited. So there's this meme. I don't know if you've seen it or not with Denzel Washington when he's sitting on the couch. I think it's with him and Jamie Foxx, and it says like I'm leaving here with something. Have you seen it?
No.
Anyway, I want everyone to know I am leaving wealthy and worthy with something. So I hope you ladies are leaving with something. But Tiana, tell me, ideally for you, what do you hope that the women who attend leave with whenever they're going home at the end of the conference?
Ooh. So, number one, I hope that you leave with a boldness, in knowing that you have women that are behind you, that are with you, that are walking this out with you in real time. I want you to feel, yes, I want you to have strategy, right? Because I'm gonna teach you the strategy. That's never a problem, right? Um, but and of course everybody wants more money, like and I'm gonna and I will share that with you, right? How we work less and earn more. But oftentimes it's not the information and the knowledge that is your challenge. It's often the implementation support and the accountability to execute on those things, right? So I want you to walk away feeling like, yes, I know the what as far as what I need to do, what actions I need to take, but I also want you to walk away having the how, right? The practical steps of how you actually execute and implement. And I want you to also have the accountability in place where you say, if I don't do this, somebody's going to be tapping my shoulder and being like, "Hey girl, what happened?" Right? What, like, you said you wanted to do this, right? What are we doing, right? And of course, I'm with you either way, right? But we got to make a decision and we got to start taking some decisive action because y'all are brilliant. And many of y'all that have been experiencing this layoff, my family has been impacted by these national layoffs as well. You know, it's like, yes, we are in this predicament, but we are also not people without hope. And we have talented women, including Stephanie, who owns an executive search firm, right? Like, we have the resources for y'all to get connected and to walk away feeling like you are more than deserving of support and of accountability to help you be all that God has called you to be. And so if that is something that you're ready for, welcome, right? If you're still deliberating and you're not an action taker, then this just may not be the right time for you. And that's okay, right? But if you're ready, if you're curious, listen, it happens. The magic happens when you're in the room, right? So yeah, we're ready. We're ready to welcome y'all. And we've got the resources, we've got the strategy, but we also have the support.
Yeah. And even just hearing you talk, I'm reminded that literally everything that you ladies need, and even Dr. Tiana and I too, everything we need is going to be in that room in Atlanta. Everything will be in the room. But I have to have a little accountability moment for myself, Dr. Tiana. Sometimes I struggle and I wait until the very last minute to buy things. If there is a concert that is happening on October 29th, I am buying my ticket October 28th. I don't know why. It's just me, but I know I'm not alone. I'm just willing to be honest with myself and with others. And so, with people who may be struggling, like me, to just go ahead and just buy the ticket, there's no other reason other than I'm just going to wait to the last minute. Why does early bird matter?
Come on. Listen, early bird matters because then you have the time to bask in all the things that this experience brings, right? Because we're going to have some pre work, we're going to have some pre chats, we're going to send you questionnaires so that you can share with us what are your specific goals because we are curating this experience specifically to our attendees, which is why we're keeping the numbers smaller, right? So we want to make sure we can accommodate that. And if you submit the last day, that doesn't give our team time to review your needs and to really assess and implement the things that will make this experience most supportive to you. So I want you to be thoughtful, right? And be intentional about investing in yourself and making sure that you make those moves decisively, right? Because when you say you're going to do something and then you keep delaying, you keep procrastinating, you're teaching yourself not to trust yourself.
Hmm.
And so that compounds over time where you start to see that pattern show up in other things. So, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so, if you are constantly like, oh, I don't know if I deserve that, I don't know, that is what you're telling yourself, right? Because you're like, oh, maybe not. Oh, let me just wait. maybe I'll see if somebody will go with me or what, like, even though you may really know, like, I want to go and this is for me, right? So you got to learn to trust yourself, and that comes with practice.
Yeah. So to everybody who is like me, who waits until the last minute, trust yourself. Dr. Tiana said, trust yourself. And if you're wondering what you're going to miss out on, if you don't trust yourself, everything. So go
Yeah.
ahead, buy the ticket. You've already been looking at it. It's in your cart. Just hit buy now. We'll hold your hand as you do it, but hit buy now. And do not be like me, because now we're going to hold each other accountable, and we're going to make sure that we get those tickets now. But there's still going to be somebody who says, like, I hear I'm coming, but I'm just going to wait just because. Okay, we're not going to judge you, right? But if a woman is on the fence about buying her ticket, what are some words you have for her?
You know, it's so funny because I would go back to trust yourself, right? Like, trust yourself. Like, if you come across, most people, if you come across my content or anybody else's content, you will know if you are drawn to them. You will know if they are speaking to you. You will know. You know, I had a young lady write me the other day, and she said, you said something, because I asked her, I said, well, what made you reach out to me? And she said, you said something in your video, and the first time you said it, I was just like, maybe not. And then she said, but you said it 3 times. She said, and I had prayed that same word in my prayer earlier in the day 3 times. And she said, so I knew that that message was for me, right? And so I feel the same way, right, about this event. It's like when you encounter the content, you encounter the beautiful women that are going to be pushing this event out with me, and you will know, like, these are my people. Like, I feel like I know them, or whatever. And if you don't feel that, great. Find a community that you do feel like that with, right? Because we want you all to be connected and supported regardless of what it looks like. So if you're on the fence, trust yourself, trust your gut. And it's never going to steer you wrong.
Yeah. I'll have to be honest. Here's another little honesty moment. I'm the person who needs the 3 signs, like the girl you were just talking about. Like, I am going to wait for the light to be twice, something to fall out the sky, whatever. So my prayer is, who's ever watching this video, I pray that this comes up 3 times for you, so you have no choice but to know that this is your sign to buy the ticket. Because I know there are women out there who they have to see it over and over again before they believe that they should make the purchase or that they should join the community. And so, let's just hope that we show up 3 times for you. And if this is your 3rd time watching the replay, whenever it goes live, as a replay, just know that's your sign to buy the ticket. But Tiana, okay, so let me ask you this, and we're going to wrap up soon, but I'm curious to know, what role do you believe community played in building wealth and well-being? And I think that's important for us to even bring up in this conversation, because that's what the whole weekend is about, right? So I would love to kind of hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think that the role of community is everything in well-being. I think that we've gotten so good at being independent, hyper independent in a lot of ways, right? And it's working, right? To a large degree, it's working, right? But it could be working so much better if we had the community there to lift us up and to remind us of who we are and to remind us of the dreams and the visions when the road gets long and hard. Community is everything, and you don't have to be friends with everybody, right? But we do want you to, again, trust yourself and use your discernment as you filter through where people fit into your life and where you're wanting to go. The research is very clear, right? Like, you are, I think it's like the sum total of like the 5 closest people to you, right? And so proximity is a thing, right? Like, you have to, I liken it to I actually saw this the other day, actually, on I was watching a sermon, and he said it's almost like your cell phone, where you can airdrop like whatever's on that phone to another person, and it's like instantaneous, right? But he said the trick is that you have to be close enough,
Oh, that's good.
right? Right? He's like, you got to be close enough. And it's true, right? If you have a friend, like, and this is scripture too, right? It's like you're a friend that sticks closer than any brother, right? And friends help carry the burden and shoulder the load, right? Um, when you think about those things, like, it makes a world of a difference. And sometimes it's a matter of life and death, of being in community, right? Instead of isolating and drowning and just dying on your own. We are communal people. And when we ignore that basic instinct that we have to be in our tribes, and to be in community with others, I think we forfeit a lot of growth and development. I think we forfeit a lot of healing, because, while this current um, culture, has this, like, oh, go talk to your therapist about it. I do think that therapy is a beautiful, and incredible resource, and I'm grateful for mine. However, I also think that a lot of healing happens in community,
Mm.
and being able to be in safe spaces where people can witness you and you can witness others. There is something very healing about that. And so for me, um, I am wanting to be more intentional about curating spaces like that, because we deserve, to be supported. And even though we are incredible and we can do it on our own, we don't have to.
Right. And I want to just thank you for even creating that community, right? Because there aren't many out there. Like, you may log online and say, oh, well, everyone has groups. Yeah, but everyone doesn't have community. Like, it's easy to join a group, but community is where real change happens. And so thank you for even creating this community. And I know when we convene in Atlanta, we're going to continue to build a community and become closer together. But my last question for you is, as we're even building community, tell me, for you personally, what does legacy look like for you? Because I know we'll also be focusing on legacy. What does that personally mean for you?
Legacy for me is really leaving a mark in the world that is reflective of your values. And I think sometimes we say we value things, but when we look at our lives, they don't reflect the things that we say we value. And so I want more of us to experience the alignment of who we say we want to be and what we say is important to us, and how that actually shows up in our lives. And that's the legacy that I think is intentional, it's deliberate, and it's something that we um, craft, and it's unique to us. And so I think sometimes we just forget that the life that we're living right now is a legacy, whether we're intentional on what we're building or not. It is a legacy. So you're building legacy because time is continuing to pass, right? But it's about being more intentional about what are we passing down? What are we leaving? How are we being a blessing to our children and our children's children? And how can we I don't necessarily ascribe to breaking generational curses, because that's too much for one person, but
Mm.
I am wholly committed to creating generational blessings. And
Wow.
so I want to be very intentional about what that looks like, and how that will have a ripple effect on the future generations.
Wow. 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 And with that, drop mic, right? that was so powerful. And I hope this has also encouraged everyone to know that you have to be in the room with us in Atlanta, because all these gems, this is just the beginning of what Dr. Tiana has inside of her. You all already know it, so you know she's gonna come with the fire. But Dr. Tiana, I am going to now take you out of the hot seat for now. And let you share whatever you need to share before we end today's live.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, thank y'all for dropping in. We are going to continue these, leading up to the event. And hopefully, if you're watching this back on the replay, let me know where you're tuning in from, and let me know if we're going to see you in Atlanta. I would love to chat with you before that time. So that is all we have for y'all here today. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing and commenting so that we can bring as many women to experience this time with us as possible. Take care. Have a good weekend. Have a great holiday weekend, actually.